Children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next on Talk Today, we hear about the return of the Lions Miss Teen Cayman Islands. And later, it's your show. We'll chat about whatever matters to you. Talk Today next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, and thanks for checking out Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. It's a balmy August afternoon here in Georgetown, midway through the week, and I hope all's well with you. The end of August is in sight. Yeah, that means people are returning from vacation. You have to make sure the kids are all ready for school, right? Yeah, got all those supplies and new clothes and stuff ready. And it also means more traffic. Yep. Yeah. More traffic on the roads. Those nice morning drives you've been having into town, they're coming to an end by the end of next week. The streets will be jam-packed again, and we'll be back to moving at a snail's pace. But that's how it goes, right? Well, Miss Teen Cayman Islands is back. The popular pageant featuring some of Cayman's finest young ladies is returning. In the Talk Today studio with me to tell us all about the return of Miss Teen Cayman Islands are Liane Debbie Ebanks and Miss Teen Cayman Islands herself, Brianna Livingston, who took the 2022 Miss Teen crown. Ladies, welcome to Talk Today. Nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon, Jalo, and thank you very much for having us, and good afternoon, the broader Cayman Islands.
Now, this was a very, very popular pageant. what happened that you had to do a pause on it?
Well, what happened was that it is really a Leo project, the Leo Club of Grand Cayman, and the Leo Club encompass young people from the ages when I was in it, like from 15 to 28. And then a few years ago, Lions International decided that we had to segregate the age groups. So we have what we call the Alpha Leos, which goes from 12 to 18. And then the Omega Leos, which is goes then from 18 to 28. And that is the cohort that does Miss Teen, that did Miss Teen, that age group. And so our Leo Club has been kind of veering for the last few years, and we've trying now to get it back, because that age group of people, or young people, go off to school. And some of them stay on, and they do not only just go off now and do bachelors, like when we were back in the day, and we would come back home and get a job, and then we would still want to be part of the community, the service community. So you find that you have young people now that are going away, and they're staying on additional years doing their masters, and then some stay on as long to do some, get some experience as well. So our membership has been on a decline, but the Lions Club, which is the parent club of the Leos, has been doing the project with the view of that we would do it. And then kind of COVID came, so we kind of had to put it on pause for that. So it's time for us now to give it a rebirth and get it going again, because like you said, it is perhaps the most popular pageant that was in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Now, Leo's is like the feeder club for the Greater Lions.
Well, that is how it's supposed to work. Yeah, you go into the Alpha Leos, and you move then to the Omega Leos, and then the Leos move into the Lions. That is what in an ideal world, that is what we hope. But we do get members from off of the street. You have to be invited, but people that show an interest of like minds of what the Lions motto is, we serve, and have the same sort of mindset that the membership and the club has. So, ideally, we do have a few members that went through the Leo program. I'm one. I was a Leo for 10 years, and then unfortunately, when I aged out, so to speak, out of Leos, I ended up having to take a hiatus from Lions, because it was an all-male club. So then they brought on a female club, but I still didn't join that. And then a few years back, like in the early 2000s, they allowed women to join the original club. So I became a member of that club. So, yeah.
So is this now a Lions project as opposed to a Leo's project?
Well, we're dubbing it's a Lion Leo project, because Lions right now are doing, because we don't have the manpower to do it, but we do have Leos on the committee. So it is a Leo project, but with the help, because we are the parents. We're the parent club. So you don't want to see your children.
You got to grow them up, right?
Right. So anything to assist them to get them back on their feet, and to assist them to make them thrive and continue what they used to do.
All right. We have to take a little commercial break here, but we're going to be right back, and we'll hear more about Miss Teen Cayman Islands. Stay with me.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Well, welcome back to Talk Today, and we are hearing about the return of Miss Teen Cayman Islands from Liane Debbie Ebanks and Miss Teen Cayman Islands herself, Brianna Livingston. And Brianna, let me ask you, what have you been doing? What has your experience been with this carrying the crown for what, 3 years?
3 years, yeah. It's been a great experience. I'm still Miss Teen, but my first year of Miss Teen, I did a lot of giving back. I helped with the Lions breakfast that they had during the Christmas. I attended a lot of marathons. I attended schools talking about my platform, which is anti-body shaming. I've had a lot of opportunities. Thank you to Miss Norma Ebanks. I was allowed to attend New York Fashion Week and London Fashion Week because of her, and I'm so grateful and thankful for her. I learned a lot in the process. I learned how to, I would say, my public speaking skills, etiquette skills. I've created a sisterhood with all the pageant queens, and I also got a reward, a scholarship from the government, which I am very, very thankful for.
Was that part of your package?
Yes, it was. It was, and because of them, I'm now in university in England studying geography. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you say it did for your personal growth otherwise?
It just made me not a better person, but it refined a lot of things in me. It helped me to become more confident in myself.
Okay.
It helped me with just a lot of basic life skills. So yeah, I would encourage any young girl between the ages of 15 and 18 to join Miss Teen. It's a very good program.
Pageantry is in your genes, right? In case you don't know, this is the daughter of Donna Bush, the one and only Donna Bush, who I worked with that came out in 27.
Yeah.
right? So she's a Miss Teen too.
She is a Miss Teen, yes. She is a Miss Teen. And I think because of her, I always knew I wanted to do Miss Teen. I always used to attend the pageants from I was small. And I would just have to say, like, my mom, she's a big part of just my journey in general. And I'm very thankful for her for pushing me. Because originally, I was iffy about joining Miss Teen. But I was like, it's a good experience. And even if I don't win, I'll still gain a lot from the experience. So I'm very, very, very grateful for her. And yeah.
So I'm sure she's proud of you.
Yes, she is most definitely proud of me.
Now, talk a little bit about why other young ladies should come along and register and join this competition.
You become an ambassador for Cayman. And I think that's very, very important. I think it's important for young girls to have just someone that's someone they can look up to. I know for me, I was bullied when I was younger because I was a little bit on the bigger side and I was tall. So just having someone in the public eye to just help you to be confident in yourself, to be a mentor, basically, is important. And you gain so much in the Miss Teen experience. As I said before, you create a sisterhood, you learn a lot of life skills, you get a scholarship to go away to school, get an education. So I would definitely say, that's very important.
Did you get a lot of training leading up to the pageant itself?
I did. We had Toastmasters, and that's a really good program that helps with your public speaking. We also had Mariah Tibbetts, Miss Cayman Islands Universe. I'm not sure of the year, but she was our walking coach. So we had for the pageant there's a talent segment, and I know I wanted to sing because I'm a gifted singer. I would say so myself. And me and my mom, we had my vocal coach help me with that. Just a lot of training. Interview training.
So when you decide to go into this, you have to be dedicated to it.
Yeah. Yes, it starts it's not just pageant night. It starts from the time you apply. Once we vet all the applications and then you have to go and you have to get sponsors, and then you have to look about your wardrobe. So and then you have training. You have how to walk on the walkway. You can't just get up there in the night. Then you have your talent piece that you have to practice and also walk. And then there's a group activity as well. And then we try to expose the girls to different cultural segments. We even do a trip over to the BRAC, and we do different go to visit the different caves and sites over there as well. We have a motorcade, and then we do the local, when I say local, we do the Grand Cayman attractions as well. So, and we try to get them involved in different aspects. They come out and help assist Lions with projects that we have going on. Maybe like an early morning, they'll come out and do, when we do a breakfast, or if we are doing something with the kids, or we're doing a tree planting, or we're doing swim meet. We encourage and want the Leos, because this is really a Leo project. But for right now, the Lions is assisting and playing a major role in getting having the pageant, but with the view that it will be we work side by side with our Leos so that they can get the experience, that later on they can take it over, and then we'll just be like a backup if they need help.
Now, you want this to be, and it certainly sounds like it, more than a pageant.
Yes.
Right?
It's definitely more than a pageant. It's always been about, it's more than just being beauty and getting up there and being seen. It's a powerful platform for the young ladies for their personal growth, for their build their self-confidence, acquire life skills, and then like Brianna, we have been very fortunate from 1998. We've had the partnership with the Cayman Islands government, and they have provided a scholarship for the winner, so that they can gain higher education. Granted, it's been a while, so it's gotten bigger than the initial scholarship, because our first few recipients actually went to the university college here, but the last few things, the scholarship has assisted them to go abroad. Brianna right now is studying in the UK, and I think Isaiah also studied in the UK as well. So, and their choice of careers is just been phenomenal, because she's doing geography. Isaiah is an engineer, so it has helped these young ladies gain what they would like to do. So it is
winning the scholarship kind of helps you to decide, well, now that I have the scholarship, I can do this.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, pageants aren't for every young lady. What would you say to someone considering it? What do you have to have already there before you get in and get all the training? There must be something about the person that makes them a good contestant, whether they win or not.
I would, from my perspective, I've never really been a contestant per se, so I will give what I think, and then defer to Brianna as a contestant. But for me, I think it's you have to want to, and it's not about winning the competition, but it's about gaining experience that can help you, assist you in the way forward. Leo's has helped me. Lions has helped me as well. Yes, my public, I was, if people would say you were never shy, but I was a shy person. But now I can get up and talk because of the experience I gained by being a Leo and a Lion.
And just from what has been described, again, you have to be a person that's going to commit.
Yes,
right.
You have to be committed.
Tell us a little bit about the schedule that you had leading up.
It was very hectic. I remember this was during the summer, like around May, June, July. I was working as an intern, but every day after work, we had, if it was in runway training, it was Toastmasters. If it was in Toastmasters, it was going to some event. It was just a lot. It was a lot. It's very time consuming. So I would say just make time for yourself. For me, I knew I wanted to go in a year before, so I prepared myself a year out because I knew what I was going to get myself into. I knew what I was getting myself into. So, yeah.
And imagine it must instill discipline in a person. You can't just say, I'm not going to bother with it this afternoon.
And we had the Lions, they always, they watch the girls, So to see if you're on time, if you're listening to the rules, if so you need to,
So what happens if you're not showing up on time, let's say?
Well, I guess.
You got a little talking to, or?
Well, for me, I never got a little talking to. No one got a little talking to, but you shouldn't make it happen. Because
that's being inconsiderate of other people.
Yeah.
And we Lions depend on outside help because, like she said, she referred to Miss Mariah Tibbetts. She's not a Lion or a Leo, but she's a past Miss Universe thing, and they have the experience, and they want us to see the young people gain the experience and have that knowledge, and so they will volunteer to come in and assist us with the runway training, different segments of the pageant.
Yeah.
So you can't be. It's rude if you turn up late.
Yeah.
and you have to instill that and it's also training for later on in life.
Yeah.
When you go to work.
That's all part of the experience.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have a job at 9:00 and then you're turning up at 9:30.
Yeah.
You know, your employer is not going to like that. You may not have a job too much longer. So it's part that itself is a life training.
Yeah, that training, regardless of what happens, you come away with something positive out of it. Time to take another break. So we're going to break away for some commercials, but we'll be right back.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We're talking about the return of Miss Teen Cayman Islands. And during the break there, Brianna, you were saying that when you were small and you would go to the pageants, you'll always look forward to the entertainment section.
Yeah, it's the talent segment. That was my favorite part. So I don't think any other pageant on the island has a talent segment, so it was enjoyable. And the younger crowd, too. A lot of our hype. Hype.
Cheering
so,
on.
Yeah.
So that is a young lady who's interested in this, they have to hold that in mind, that you have to have a performing talent, right? Yeah. So most people do what? Sing or dance?
Sing, dance. Some do poetry. Some do monologue.
Playing an instrument.
Okay.
And some play an instrument as well. Yeah. And then we do have a group activity, which is usually a dance. And we bring in a dance instructor, and they will instruct them, and they'll have that part of their training as well. So, and then it's usually like a
The opening number, yeah.
Okay.
And that's a very fun activity too, because you get to bond with the girls, you know? I think that's a...
Teamwork.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. That was my favorite part, I think. One of my favorite parts of the pageant.
Now, Miss Teen has a long and glorious history behind it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, the Miss Teen was actually started in 1979 by a group of people in West Bay. It was a club called the West Bay Community Club. But they, so that was the first Miss Teen, and then they were in the process of winding down, and they were kind of looking for an organization to hand that over to, and so the Leos being a youth organization and Miss Teen being Miss Teen, they thought it was a good mesh. So they asked the Leos then to take it over. So we agreed to do that. And so the first Miss Teen, then under the auspices of the Leo Club of Grand Cayman, was back in 1979 as well, which was was a 15-year-old Liane Ebanks from West Bay, who is Avalon Howell. And, you know, just to say, you know, how Miss Teen has helped people and the discipline we spoke to about earlier. Miss Howell just retired from earlier this year with a 43-year plus career at Cayman National. So, you know, she's always said, you know, being Miss Teen has helped her as well. And then on May the 14th, 1983, Effie Ebanks Colon of West Bay went on to be the first Miss Teen to become Miss Cayman, and she was Miss Cayman, the youngest Miss Cayman ever. She was at 17 years of age, and then in 1985 we had our first Miss Teen from Cayman Brac. So, and then we spoke about the scholarship. So that happened in 1998, 1999, that year, because Miss Teen is usually held in August or early September, when the girls are out of school. So they will have pretty much the full part of June and July and August, so that we can do intense training, because we don't want to take away from their educational thing. So Miss Teen has always been held in August, early September. We do try not to go too far into September, but I think it's slated now for August the 8th, 2026. So Lauren Bush Knight, who happens to be now was a deputy chief officer in the portfolio of civil service. She was the first recipient of the educational scholarship, and she did her associates at the UCCI, the University College of the Cayman Islands. So, and we've had other milestones, but the milestone with Brianna, you spoke about that earlier, and when she became Miss Teen in 2022, she actually became our second generation Miss Teen, because her mom was Miss Teen in 1984. So, you know, throughout the years, we've had a significant amount of milestones that we are very proud of, and the girls are proud of it themselves as well, you know. So they've been really great ambassadors for our island. When they go off, you know, they are, because of the training they have had, they're able to hold their own. Because back in 2007 and 2008, we had one of our Miss Teens go away to Trinidad to compete in the Miss Teen Worldwide Caribbean, which is Yantel McGaw, and she actually won that competition. So we can hold our own. Our young ladies can hold their own. Yeah, so.
So when do you get started with the recruitment for the pageant in 2026?
Well, the application process is open now. So anyone that is interested in wanting to join or take part in the pageant, they can check out because everything's pretty much social media now. Is as Instagram and our Facebook page. But if they're not and they want a hard copy, then they can reach out to the Lions or Leos, and they can get an application form. And we have a couple of drop boxes. The Compass has been really great to us, and they've left the box. We have a box here that people can come and drop their applications, and then once the application process timelines is closed, then we do have to go through the applications, because there's also an academic portion of this, so we have to check.
So you vet.
We vet the applications. The applicants, to make sure that they are serious, and they so we have a criteria for them to.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? just maybe some of the highlights of it.
No, well, we need to see, they need to be able to make sure that they are able to also seek sponsorship.
Oh, so they have to go and get their own sponsor?
Yeah, they seek the sponsorship.
What's involved in that? How did you go about yours?
Well, my mom, she knew that. She knows that sponsorship is hard to get, because not every company or business wants to sponsor. They don't really. I don't know if they don't like pageantry or what. They don't. That's not a part of them. But me and my mom, we started looking for sponsorship a year out, or a couple months out, like 6 months, I would say. And thanks to NCI Freight and Logistics, thank you so much for sponsoring me. They were really kind enough to sponsor me. So yeah, just start for any girl that is looking to join the Miss Teen pageant. I would just say start looking for sponsorship now, because it's very hard to find sometimes. Maybe if you're lucky, the first person you go to, they'll say yes, but just start looking from now.
You have to start knocking on doors, making telephone calls.
Yeah. And they need to maintain a certain level of at their academics as well, because we don't want to take on someone that is maybe struggling, and then they come and join the pageant, and they go, and then at the end of the day they can't say, well, I can't do it, because you have to be able to balance and you have to maintain, and we don't want the pageant to impede on their education. So that's why we try to do the pageant. The heavy training of the pageant and all the events in the pageant is when they're already completed that year's work.
And I guess that gives you assurance that you're getting a certain caliber of person also.
Exactly.
So what do young ladies have to do to start signing up?
They just get an application form and fill it out, and there's what they just have to provide whatever documentation. I'm going to be honest, I have not vetted the application process this year, so I know we've revamped it a little bit just to make it a little bit more easier, and then also electronically as well. But I know that there is a criteria, and we just people, we want everybody, give everybody an opportunity. You have to be realistic.
Right.
You have to be realistic. And not everybody is cut out for pageantry, and not everybody has that dedication or can cope with the stresses as well. Because it can be stressful, not stressful like you tearing your hair up, but you got to be able to juggle schoolwork at some stage. And we don't want people that's going to at the end they flake out and say, I can't do this.
After putting in all that work, they end up losing people.
And exactly, and then you have to think about your sponsors. If you got a sponsor and you can't fulfill that criteria and go through all the way that person has an opportunity, that company will have an opportunity to get their name out. Not that they do it for that, but that's part of the whole ambience, the whole thing. When you sponsor people, your name is out there and you're attached to that person, so you want to be able to Yeah.
Well, ladies, Liane, Debbie Ebanks, and Miss Teen Cayman Islands, Brianna Livingston, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. And good luck with the return of Miss Teen Cayman Islands.
Just before we go, I just want to say to any young lady that's considering it, just go on to our Instagram and Miss Teen Cayman Islands Instagram and Facebook page, and download the application, or just go through the application process. And if there's questions, there's contact information there that you can reach out to a member of the committee, and we will be more than happy to sit down and go through it with you. Because I'm not 100% sure when the deadline is, but I know it's just open, so I know we probably at least like 6 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks out. So we have time that we can sit down with young ladies that are interested.
Well, thank you again, and good luck.
Thank you.
It's news time. Let's see what's making headlines.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Today.
Always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings. Police are warning the public to be cautious of jewelry offered for sale in unusual or suspicious circumstances following Saturday's armed robbery at a Georgetown store. 2 masked men, one carrying what appeared to be a handgun, stole cash and jewelry from the business on Albert Panton Street before fleeing. Investigators say the public should avoid buying jewelry outside of normal retail channels and report anything suspicious to Georgetown CID or Crime Stoppers. In international headlines, U.S. President Donald Trump today called on Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook to resign after a member of his administration accused Cook of committing mortgage fraud. Bill Polt, director of the agency that oversees mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, urged the Justice Department to investigate Cook. He alleges Cook has claimed 2 homes as her principal residences, one in Michigan and the other in Georgia, to, quote, fraudulently obtain better mortgage lending terms. Israel's military said today that it will call up tens of thousands of reservists and extend the service of others ahead of an expanded military operation it will carry out in Gaza City. Defense Minister Israel Katz approved plans to begin a new phase of operations in some of Gaza's most densely populated areas. The plan, which is expected to receive the Chief of Staff's final approval in the coming days, includes calling up 60,000 reservists and extending the service of 20,000 others who are currently serving. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Alfred Berman Scott, 1914 to 1989. Alfred Scott was schooled in Jamaica and went to sea as a young man and then to Panama, where he worked on the canal. When he returned home to Cayman Brac, He worked as a contractor and manufacturer of concrete blocks made on a homemade machine, floor tiles, and aggregate. He served in the Legislative Assembly in the early 1970s, representing Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and was a Baptist preacher for a number of years. He was a philanthropist who was widely loved and respected. Mr. Scott, who was married to Miss Alta Aurelia Henderson, was a model husband and father who raised 12 outstanding citizens. Another son died at an early age.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and doing a weather check here at Owen Roberts International. It's 87 degrees, and the wind's at about 3 knots coming out of the west-northwest. Forecast calling for isolated showers through the afternoon and into the night. Taking a look at the radar here, don't see any active showers right now over the Sister Islands. They're looking nice and clear also. Let's see what's happening with at the National Hurricane Center. Atlantic is active. We got Erin still out there off the east coast, or the southeast coast, be more accurate, of the U.S. And we got a disturbance 1, still at 60% chance of a cyclone formation in 7 days. Then we don't have to worry about that. That seems to be turning up to the north and staying out there. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Bermuda might be keeping an eye on that. And disturbance 2, way out there in the Atlantic. And that has a kind of interesting direction to it, but the National Hurricane Center in Miami is only giving it a 40% chance of formation, and it actually says environmental conditions appear marginally favorable for additional development over the next day or so, while the system moves west-southwestward at around 15 miles per hour. And a short-lived tropical depression could form. By the end of the week, environmental conditions are expected to become unfavorable for further development. And so that's the good news about disturbance number 2 out there in the Atlantic. Well, did you see this story in the news about the 2 stolen cars who had an accident, right? Now, police are still investigating that, but that's. I think that's one for the dumb criminal files. 2 people steal a car, then they get in an accident. If you're gonna steal a car, drive it carefully so you don't attract the police. That would be like a good idea, right? Sort of reminds me of a story I used to hear back in the day about when there were 2 cars on Little Cayman, and those 2 cars got in an accident. I wonder what the situation was that 2 cars on Little Cayman, and they collide with each other. I also see the Marriott has been given the go-ahead to try and replenish that beach there. Well, no. Right now, there's no beach right there at the Marriott, right? So they want to try and bring that back. And the government has given them the go-ahead. They're going to try something new this time, apparently, because they've made some efforts in the past, but those things didn't really stay in place when they put in sand there. And they're planning to put in 100 or two 135-foot rock groins that will be built perpendicular to the shore, and they're hoping that that's going to help retain the sand for a justifiably long time. So we'll see how that goes. But when you're dealing with Mother Nature, that can be quite difficult. But it would be really nice if they could bring the beach back there, right? I mean, I saw a picture of, I think it was a postcard of the Marriott, and I mean, the beach was absolutely beautiful. It's really a shame that got eroded, and the water coming right up to the patio of the hotel itself. And if they could bring that back, well, that would be a fantastic thing. And yesterday, we had a caller who brought up the fact that another coastal works permit had been approved, and that is the Bio Bay. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it is the bioluminescent bay, and that's up around Rum Point. And it's really spectacular. If you've ever seen any pictures of this, it's really amazing phenomenon. And, it's actually become a tourist attraction. And they have been given, a private concern has been given permission to build a dock in the vicinity of that. And there's some concern about that being disturbed. And actually the Department of Environment gave their blessings if certain mitigating actions were taken to try not to disturb Bio Bay, because it is it's become very popular as a tourist attraction. Just taking a look at TripAdvisor, bioluminescent bay. I'll just call it Bio Bay. And it's got like a traveler's choice. And, a lot of people comment about how fantastic this is. There was also a question about whether the plankton there are animal or plant. And this particular plankton, some planktons are animals, but this particular plankton that is there, the phytoplankton, they got trapped there after Ivan in this small bay, and they're plant-like, and it's photosynthesis that enables them to make this light in the water. And a dark night is when it's really amazing. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Good afternoon.
I want to ask a question before you allow me to read my poem.
Okay. What's that?
How does it feel, Mr. Charles, to have the name of our cake? Oh, I'm telling you.
Well, actually, I was dubbed Prince Charles of Grand Cayman, if you want to know. my sister did that one.
Okay. I have
maybe what the LB King.
Yes, sir. I have a little poem here called Speak Light, entitled Speak Light.
Speak Light?
Speak Life, Life.
Okay.
Can I read?
You're on.
Speak life. Why not speak about the money? Speaking of economic growth and afforded milk and honey. Speaking of success and not failure is inspiring. Leading a path toward better whilst aspiring. Value a growing net worth and talk of success. In the eyes of many, money decreases much stress. Aspire to inspire to be better from day to day. Business, business, business. There's no time to play. Following those who achieve could never be wrong. Be inspired by Rihanna and Mariah Carey, even in song. Beyonce and Taylor Swift have also achieved much also. Matters not what is said, they have led many to follow. Superstardom is worth quite $50. Hollywood celebs, ordinary stars, and others. Embrace greatness and have a desire for prosperity. Seek truth, success, and also financial clarity. Author Mr. Craig Brown.
Craig Brown.
Yes, sir.
Our resident poet. That was nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You like it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, speak life, you know.
So what moves you to write poetry?
You know.
What made you write that one?
I wanted to have actually a continuation of the from the other poem. It's all about money.
Yeah.
So
that was a carry through to that into this.
And just to inspire in different ways. There are people who would like to have people to look up to. I think these fine ladies are a lot are perfect when it concerns that. Rihanna, I think she's a billionaire, and Mariah, she has a lot, and Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and it's all about entertainment. The radio is entertaining, and I think it's fit to put a little poetry in here and there to try to be up some entertainment to the people.
Well, it's nice to have a little creative segment in there.
Yes, sir.
You keep writing those poems.
Okay, sir. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Take care. Yes, Craig Brown, the poet, puts together some nice stuff. And before we got into that, we were talking about. I was talking about Bio Bay and how it's become so popular as a tourist attraction. Actually, on TripAdvisor, it's number 14 out of 154 things to do in Grand Cayman. And it has some really great reviews there on TripAdvisor. 260 reviews, 4.6, not stars, I guess they're circles. 4.6 anyway, out of 5. And let's take a look here. This is one from April 2025. I wasn't real sure what to expect, but it was incredible. The guides on our tour were fantastic, gave us a sort of a wet suit to wear. My daughter and I thought the water would be cold as it was evening, but surprisingly it was warm. The moon was quite bright, so we were able to snorkel under the boat, which I thought might be scary, but it wasn't. When you moved your hands, it looked like cascading diamonds. A memorable experience. And this one also from this year in April. Even though it wasn't the perfect time of the month because it was close to full moon, we still saw some of the bioluminescence. If the moon is full, there's too much light and you won't see it as well. We swam under the pontoon and used our snorkeling equipment. Then you could really see it. The guide took some great pictures of us that turned out really well. And let's do another. Our experience with Captain Marvin's at Bioluminescence Bay was absolutely magical. After our original plans fell through last minute, they were incredibly accommodating and fit us in without hesitation. We're so grateful they did because this turned out to be the highlight of our trip. How do you like that? Bio Bay, the highlight of their trip. And George, Jaden, and Jimbo were fantastic, super informative, friendly, and fun. They made sure everyone felt comfortable and safe while keeping the experience exciting. So, I mean, Bio Bay, this sounds like something that we really need to protect, right? What do you think? This is something that is just natural, you know, and tourists love it. People in Cayman love it, and it actually provides an attraction for our tourism products, and people can actually make a living, or it contributes to people making a living. And, you know, we really should protect it from everything that I'm seeing here. And apparently, like I said, the input that the Department of Environment gave was that certain mitigating actions were taken, that then they gave it their blessing. But we wouldn't want to disturb this. This is just a natural phenomenon that occurred. One of the good things that came out of Hurricane Ivan, because it wasn't there before Hurricane Ivan. There's some other places that have this. Bahamas, and I think it was Puerto Rico. You can also see it. But Cayman is one of the few places that you can easily see this. You know, apparently other parts of the world, it's not so easy to see. So I would think that this is something that we want to protect at all cost. What's your opinion about coastal development? I mean, our coast there is something that is very much a part of the tourism product, and you know, outside of the financial industry, tourism is one of the pillars of the economy. And we've heard all along about we need new attractions. And here we have something that is natural. It's not costing the government or anyone any kind of money for it to exist. And we would not want that to disappear, since it was kind of just given to us, you know, as a result of Hurricane Ivan. This plankton got washed into that bay, and because it's a narrow opening, they're not you know being pushed out. We have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, heard you talking about the bioluminescence.
Yeah, have you been there?
And no, I haven't, but I've seen it around the island, you know. I've seen it in like some of, especially like in areas where it's like a harbor.
Yeah.
The still water, they like water that doesn't have a lot of current because, you know, as you know, it's a plankton, it's a plant.
Right.
And
And apparently they shine when they're disturbed.
yeah, well, you see, when they have movement in the water, it reacts. They have a reaction. I guess through the photosynthesis, they grow with light.
Yeah.
And during the night, that's something that keeps them growing as well. But phytoplankton, corals eat phytoplankton and other filter feeding animals, you know, like shrimp and stuff like that. Zooplankton as well. Zooplankton is the actual.
That's the animal, right?
Yeah, that's the animal. Yeah, those ones, the corals eat them as well, and other crustaceans and fish that are like juvenile fish. They mainly feed juvenile.
Yeah, I saw something when I was reading about it that they're like the base food.
Right. You know, most of the coral
The food chain starts there.
Yeah, most of the coral growth that we have here in Cayman or around the world, I would say, is based off of phytoplankton and the sunlight, because obviously they're photosynthetic. But to disturb them, no. I mean, I get it. Tourist attraction, we are a tourism industry and stuff, but when it comes into like protecting our marine life, you see, when you start putting activities in the water and then be stationary, like you want to place structures to be more accessible, I think that will drive them away eventually, you know, because really and truly we got animals that really sensitive to human activity, and the minute that we touch the water, sometimes that drives those activities away, the animal activity away. And I don't think it's a good idea, you know, as much as an investment for them, you know, the business-minded people, as much as it seems like an opportunity for them, it might be a short-term thing if they pursue with it. And I think doing excursions, like carrying people on boat to these places instead of having them walk there, you know, we're becoming a little bit detached from our environment. And, you know, with the development that we got going on here, we've lost a sense of attachment with our environment.
But the big concern here is that someone is building a big dock.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some worry about the construction and especially the Department of Environment were saying about any kind of chemical runoff during the course of this construction of this. It's a pretty big dock.
Yeah. I haven't seen the plans. This is my first time hearing about it now that you're talking about it, and I'm like, gee, you know, like what happened to the traditional ways we have on our island now? I mean, everything is getting so high tech. Sooner or later, we're gonna have hoverboards going there too. It just I don't know. You know, with advancing technology, people are being detached, and I think we need to reconnect back and doing our traditional activities, because really and truly, we already seen what happened into 7 Mile Beach. It is a dangerous thing to say when we have overpopulation and temporary population, because the temporary population to me is causing the most damage. Yeah, because we got hotels that are coming up, and I mean, we have already places that we seen during COVID had to shut down, and then they've been sold out. Now they have bigger investors coming in, and they're going to bring in triple the amount of people that they used to have in that area. And to me, I don't know where it's going to go when they don't have no more room, and then they're going to end up trying to expand land.
So what you think we've kind of reached the peak of our capacity for tourists?
Oh my goodness. I think we reached a peak of the capacity of people living in the island, residents in general. So I don't know. I believe that I believe that we should just be more innovative with what we do instead of trying to invite more. Why don't we try to produce more? Because we can't just keep inviting people to the island. We don't have a product to show. I get it. We find every natural resource that we can find on our island and exploit it, like crystal caves and these things like that. You know, we were seeing an example of that with the Stingray City, and people damaging the stingrays with their boat propellers because they don't even know the area too good, and you know, washing up on the coral reef or stuff like this. You know, like it's very fragile that we have people on this island still learning our ways.
But sometimes it's just the amount of people out there also. That one that you know.
Yeah, it's crazy, it's hectic, you know, and I'm that type of person that would like to see our island be more environmentally conscious, you know, because we have the beach development and they want to replenish the beach. I don't know how they're going to replenish the beach without disturbing our ecosystem. Naturally, we have beach replenishment, but they're deterring the waves from doing their job. That's so sad to see when people put walls up on the beach to protect their property. Why go and put the property on the beach?
Yeah, that was the big mistake.
Yes.
And nobody foresaw that.
Yeah, look at the Grand Hyatt. For years now, I've been looking at that place developing, and oh my goodness, every single time I go there, it's like one or two things disappear. And then when you look at it, a lot of people didn't even know how it looked before, so they look at it like, I don't see what's so wrong with it, but you got to see what was there first. You know, all the trees that was there, all of the cocoa plums, and they have this little vine that grows and it has these beautiful purple flowers. They're gone, disappeared. Those things came when the nor'westers come. They wash up the plants, come up a little bit higher, and then they grow back in, and then they help keep the sun, retain the sun into the beach. And now that's gone. They're throwing crush and run or whatever kind of sand that they're introducing to the beach to try to cover up and make it higher for them to do what they want to do. To me, it's ludicrous to see what's going on. Really, you know, it's concerning, very concerning. As a person that loves to go to the beach, I am deterred from going to the beach because I just don't like what I see.
Well, you mean that it's not a real beach, or the destruction of the beach?
Yes, I don't really and truly, I don't know what is the plan, because they change plans daily. According to how I see things, they change plans daily. 1 minute you see it look like they have a fence, that's the border, and then 2 days you look, the fence is gone and they've expanded outwards. And I'm like, in towards the sea, and I'm like, what's going on? What is their plan? What are their plans? Are they gonna put the sand out over the iron shore, which were like areas where juvenile fish, it's like a nursery for juvenile fish and octopus and other animals that like to hide away during the night from dangerous animals, you know, like sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
These things, people don't realize how much of the natural environment they are destroying because of land. They always label this land as their protection from listening to the environmentalists. People like me, I trying to advocate to protect our coastal lines. Oh my goodness, they don't like to hear me. But I have a sad thing for them. When God comes, He does not care whether you are.
Well, that's the whole irony, right? Because I mean, our coastal area is what a lot of tourists come here and enjoy.
Right.
And we're destroying that very thing.
You imagine, just so that they can have their little beachfront property. When they have their beachfront property, they look and they say, one little storm come and the sun is gone, and then all of a sudden they say, this was such a beautiful place. Yeah, tell that to these investors. Tell that how they used to come. The people used to come here just to see how natural the place was, and now it's just like we got to be like some Sin City, right? Some sort of place where we can get away with doing what we want to do. Because speaking about what we want to do, I mean I appreciate fundraising and all those things, right? But there was something with the in the governor's ballroom where they had like this digital asset investors or something like this, where they had a casino that went to some food raising food money that they raised for the food banks or something like this, some $45,000 US, and I'm like, okay, so it's okay for them to gamble, but not to discourage it, because I mean I voted yes for this the lottery, the national lottery, and I think that is a good idea. But I mean, what about the community? 200 people. You could encourage the whole entire island to contribute, and you can get 10 times more. You know, like, I don't know. So much things going on, and they're not including Caymanians. I'm going to say it like that. They're not including Caymanians, and I think it's a deliberate attack. Because when we lose our rights to property, then we lose all of our rights in general, right?
Especially that right to walk the beach, right?
That's one of my main
we can't let that go.
I don't want to be deterred from going to the beach any longer. And one thing that is happening in my community in West Bay is that they're putting gates on the beach accesses that we used to have, and they were natural beach accesses. I mean, I would assume that they would have had like.
Isn't that against the law to put gates on the access?
Well, if you have planning cannot stop people from knocking down mangroves, I don't see why they can't have these fences up and they don't know nothing about it, because they swear that they're like working like turtles or something like that they can't reach these people on time. I don't know. They ignore a lot of things, you know. The way how I look at it is like the love of money is the root of all evil, but then all we have is money, you know. All we have is money. We don't have nothing else. Money can't grow trees, you know.
Okay. Well, listen, I have to take a break, but thank you so much for your call.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you take care. Be right back with more Talk Today.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
Yummy. Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Looking to transform your space? From custom homes to commercial spaces, we bring your vision to life with precision, quality, and elegance. At Mike's Builders, we make it happen.
Mike's Builders turned my dream home into a reality. Their team is professional, efficient, and truly the best in the business. Good communication? Check. Cleanliness? Check. Professionalism? On point. You have to try Mike's Builders for yourself.
Call us today at 923-0706. That's 923-0706. Mike's Builders. Let's build a beautiful world together.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we have some callers on the line, so let's take a call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing okay. Your last caller, that young man, I don't know, he must have some kind of magic that could read my mind, because he has left me with just very little to say now. I mean, what he said was so interesting. Let's look at the 7 Mile Beach and see what's happening there.
Okay.
I am convinced from what I have seen in the Eastern Caribbean islands, instead of talking about dumping sand on the beach, we need to get some real big boulders like crosses or stars or something made of the concrete. Dump them at maybe 150 yards off of the beach. And I can almost guarantee you're going to see your beach coming back. When you have bad weather, those boulders, now you're talking about gigantic boulders.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like the shoreline, let's say like the Iron Shore. You have a protection for your beach. But you have all of these scientists and all of these know everything coming in the other island. And then we have people in authority that listen to them instead of listen, not me, but people like Captain Paul and others that are very experienced, do not have any say. They listen to these people that come in and they bring them in here. I want to point out to you the Department of Environment. It is coming right now into the hurricane season, or we're into the hurricane season actually. And God help us that we don't have no major hurricane, because on the North Coast, I've been talking about this thing from day one. You got horses galore into this area. Some on the beach.
Disembarkers?
If you have some high tides, all of that stuff, like even in a heavy rain, you see this stuff trickling down into the street. It looked like the river in Orinoco. Horse manure going right down the street. I am saying, not asking, all of these people that you have in the environment, what are they doing? Look at the cars that's into this place. We just elected a new government who celebrated the first 100 days. Let's see in another 100 days what is going to happen to this island, Charles. Let's look at the development. We do not need any more development at this present time. We should take stock and see where we are and where we're going. All of these buildings and people coming in here, doing the construction, shipping the money back out of the country, we are going to be left with nothing more than a lump of concrete. And like the young man said, everything is about money, and how much money is enough. Why don't we have a conservative government to say, look, we are going to have to tighten up our belts, but we want this island to be preserved and secured for future generations. What's the hurry for overdevelopment in this island? What are you going to show tourists? Concrete? Like Flagler Street, where you see shops and everything is nothing but newspapers big chains across their doors and all that, because people do not want to see that anymore. The beautiful environment that we have with all the lush vegetation, even up here in Baracas now, you see people walking from all walks of life in the afternoon because the traffic is minimal. It's close to the sea. Why can we not preserve this? Why? Because
Well, that's what brought tourists here.
I'm sorry?
I said that's what brought tourists here.
Absolutely. But you got people, I'm sorry, I will say boldly, that are in these positions that are calling shots, and they are too big to be told. You know, they got all kind of portfolios, and they don't know nothing more about their portfolio, and I know about flying Cayman Airways, and I sure like hell don't know how to fly Cayman Airways. I just hope and pray that something is going to be done in another 100 days, because some things are opening into the pipeline, and it's not going to be, I wouldn't say it's not going to be good, but it's going to be surprising, because myself, we are planning in the near future to have the district council open up again.
Okay.
I have uttermost respect for the premier. He's not just a diplomat, or not just elected member. He's a diplomat, a well-bred young man, polite. He reminds me of Prince William. He speaks to you everywhere he go. He's very humble. He's understanding, and he got time to talk to you.
Remember, he said, remember to say good morning.
Sorry?
Remember when they he made his speech, he said, remember to say good morning.
Absolutely.
Because that's us.
Absolutely. He's a well-bred young man, and I have a lot of respect for that man, and I look forward to dealing with him in the near future. So when I get a little bit more time another day, I'll give you another little sort of...
Always good to hear from you.
Good too. Have a good evening, sir. Thank you.
You too. We got to take a break. We got someone on the line. Just hang in there for me. We'll be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
It's a sizzling summer with J&. Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with J&. Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with J&. Money.
Aunt Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking to transform your space? From custom homes to commercial spaces, we bring your vision to life with precision, quality, and elegance. At Mike's Builders, we make it happen.
Mike's Builders turned my dream home into a reality. Their team is professional, efficient, and truly the best in the business. Good communication? Check. Cleanliness? Check. Professionalism? On point. You have to try Mike's Builders for yourself.
Call us today at 923-0706. That's 923-0706. Mike's Builders. Let's build a beautiful world together.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And before I go to the phone call there, a quick WhatsApp message titled Cayman Islanders versus Caymanian/status holders. Is it not time to redefine and call us established generational indigenous people as Caymanian Islanders, as the most senior status of belongers per BVI, British Virgin Islands and Turks and Caicos Islands? I guess that's how they have it. This would distinguish us generational people and those status holders who seem to want all of our benefits. What do you think about that? We have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, when I put in the call, I had like 4 points, which I was hoping I could run through very quickly. But now, with what you've been discussing, I've got 6 points. But I won't take too long. But let me begin with the two matters that I was not going to mention, but because the last two callers mentioned them.
Mm-hmm.
The issue of beach access. I don't know why we're still talking about beach access today.
Really?
Yeah, because this should have been solved by the government a long time ago by legislation. Now, I joined this. I used to represent as an attorney at law a number of people who were members of the Concerned Citizens Group, mostly from West Bay. Miss Alice Mayco, Miss Smith, Miss Annie Moulton, Mr. Billy Adam, and others. And I was working as an attorney then, but even after I stopped representing them, I took up some passion about it, and we continued to work. For example, one time we drafted a resolution for 2 MPs to go to Parliament and ask for increased penalties for people who were blocking rights of way, which the young man there was talking about. It fizzled out somewhere. It was introduced, and the government said, well, can you just withdraw it? We are going to fix this matter, and so on and so forth. It's never been fixed. The problem is that the government is not on the side of the people on these issues, but they will never say so. They just do not do anything about it. For example, they created the Public Lands Commission, which is one of the biggest frauds in this area, in my view. They painted it as something which was going to assist with these issues of beach access and the like. But actually, it was meant to make it more difficult, because under the law, if you prove a right of way, like you a prescriptive right, you've been using a right of way for 20 years, you put in your affidavits, you take them to the registrar of lands. The registrar is supposed to investigate, and if they are satisfied that right of way has existed as a prescriptive right, then they register it. 500 affidavits were prepared way back with respect to 200 rights of way. They were filed, and the registrar refused to register any of them, and the Attorney General refused to take the matter to court. And then they said, well, the way we are going to deal with it is we are going to create the Public Lands Commission, so that if you want your rights of way to be recognized, and if there's a dispute, then the Public Lands Commission can go to court. But that's not the way the law is structured. You are not supposed to go to court with every right of way. How many times are you going to go to court? Are you going to go to court 200 times? You know how much money that takes? But to me, in a nutshell, government has just been disingenuous about this. They don't want to correct it. The other issue relates to this matter of belonger status. In other words, is there one category of Caymanians or two categories? And this was discussed a little bit this morning with Dr. Teresa and Dr. Steve. You see, the way I read Caymanian society is that a Caymanian is different from a status holder. That's the way it is. When you are walking the streets in Georgetown and you say, "Oh, is that guy a Caymanian?" What you mean is not that he is he either a status holder or a local. You are saying he's what personally I call an ethnic Caymanian.
Mm-hmm.
And the politicians have been trying to say, no, let us not, divide the two up because, you see, people should live in unity. But first of all, that's total nonsense, right? I don't think that between Caymanians, to be frank with you, and Jamaicans, there's a whole lot of love there to begin with anyway. I mean, let's be brutally frank about it. I don't want to be cynical. But at the end of the day, to me, I've always recognized an ethnic Caymanian as being the person who is the priority in the Cayman Islands. Right now, you see this matter is coming up in relation to the appointment of the new deputy governor, whoever it's going to be, because the Constitution says that that person must be a Caymanian. Now, under the immigration law, it says that the Caymanian includes a status holder. So technically, legally speaking, you can appoint a status holder to be deputy governor, and there's nothing in the law that prevents that. But already, this morning I heard from the morning shows about 5 calls, including one, a former minister, saying, no, but we can't have somebody who is a status holder become a deputy governor. Do you see? This matter is important. It is time that it is fixed. The concept already exists in the law. There's Caymanianism, right? There's a Caymanian who is a status holder. My good friend Danny Warren has suggested that one group should be called New Caymanian, the other one Caymanian, and that should be able to solve it. But the government, again, doesn't want to do that. Now, talking about that, related to that, immigration. I personally do not think that this current government is really serious about immigration, because they have been barking very loudly and talking about, this is for Caymanians and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the question I ask is, where is the beef? Because if you want to put beef in these proposals, you have to put a cap on grants. That is one. They have heard this proposal many times. They haven't responded to it. It means they don't want to do it. They have been told that for job preferences, you must make it clear that if a Caymanian qualifies, it doesn't matter whether somebody from the UK has got 3-4 times the qualifications. They should not give the job to the person from the UK. They should give it to the person in Cayman, so long as a Caymanian qualifies. They have refused to do that. Again, there's been a suggestion that there should be no more status grants than the natural net birth rate among Caymanians. The government is aware of that, but they are not saying anything about this. It is because they don't want to do them. And if they don't do them, they are never going to achieve what people are asking for. People are saying, can you enact legislation which will ensure that we don't keep dwindling as indigenous Caymanians in proportion to the population that keeps coming in? But the government doesn't want to do that. But let me end on one little point. The one point is this. This young man who is being charged now together with this person, you remember the road rage incident?
Yes.
Where they've charged a young man here. That is a total shame that they should charge a young man. The reason they are charging him is because they arrested him wrongly to begin with. So they knew that they could be paying him damages for that. So they are trying to create a pretext to say we arrested him for that offense. Okay, that's all they are trying to do. But otherwise, it's totally ridiculous. That is why I wrote a letter to the Secretary of State to say, in Cayman, there must be a commission of inquiry, a public commission of inquiry to sit maybe in Constitution Hall. People should go there and be able to be sworn on oath and be able to say some of the problems of enforcing the law in relation to the judiciary, the police, the DPP, and so on. Until that is held, by the way, that was done in the British Virgin Islands. Until that is held, judges and the police and the DPP are getting away with all kinds of things. People really need to be... by the way, the letter I wrote to the Secretary of State, which was 20 pages long, I outlined numerous cases of how these institutions have not been doing the right thing. But otherwise, let me leave you there. I just believe that this current government has done very poorly, in my view, on the immigration and job preferences matter in the first 100 days. But let us see what they are going to put in the law. Normally, you don't put in the law something you haven't already announced, but let us wait. But I'm very, very disappointed with what they've done up to this point. But people have been lulled into complacency because of how loudly this government has been barking. It hasn't been biting so well up to this point. But let us wait and see what happens.
All right. Thank you so much for the call.
We'll let you go.
All right. It's news time.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman Right, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. The Department of Labor and Pension has announced a special half-day training seminar designed for young Caymanians entering the workforce. The event is focused on the Labor Act 2021 revision and will be held at the Intergenerational Hub on September 24th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Participants will learn about employee rights, employer responsibilities, and key workplace procedures. Director Brianna Ebanks says the goal is to empower young people with knowledge and confidence as they start their careers. Registration is free. You can find out more at gov.ky/DLP. In regional headlines, Jamaica's economy is showing steady signs of growth. The Planning Institute of Jamaica is projecting that the GDP could grow by as much as 3% between July and September. Director General Dr. Wayne Henry says the recovery is spread across nearly all industries, with big gains in agriculture, up nearly 10%, thanks to better weather and expanded crop yields. Tourism is also rebounding, with July arrivals up more than 16% compared to last year. The United Nations is once again raising alarms over the rise of sexual violence linked to ongoing conflict in Haiti. Haiti is now among countries with the highest number of conflict-related sexual violence cases, alongside war-torn nations in Africa. The violence, which overwhelmingly affects women and girls, is being fueled by rampant gang activity in Port-au-Prince and worsened by displacement and food insecurity. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Welcome back, and let's take a quick look at the weather here. 87 degrees here in Georgetown. Winds at about 3 knots out of the west-northwest. Forecast calling for isolated showers. And according to the National Hurricane Center in Miami, we have some areas of disturbed weather out there in the Atlantic. But one of them heading up to the northwest, staying out into the Atlantic. Another one heading south, east-south. Let's see there. Disturbance 2. And it's moving west-southwest, rather, at 15 miles per hour. And conditions are going to be turning unfavorable for further development. So that's the good news. We have a WhatsApp caller. Let's see what they're saying. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chalo.
Yes, how are you doing?
Okay, and you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Well, concerning all that I've been hearing in our country, practically around the world, these are the last days. So things will only get worse. That's why time is moving so fast. A year will be like a month. A month will be like a week. A week will be like a day. A day will be like an hour. An hour will be like a minute. And a minute will be like a second. And the reason why the days are being shortened is because Jesus says in the Bible, he has shortened the days for his children. Which means that we do not have to wait long before his coming. And all these things that we're seeing and hearing about that are very concerning to the point where it makes us worry, to the point where we become fearful, is because these are the last days. And no matter who we vote for, things will not change. Things will only continue to get worse. So putting our faith in politicians who we vote for to make things better for us will never happen. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the call. Have a good afternoon. So what do you think about this proposition? Mr. Billy mentioned it, and this was from a WhatsApp message. Is it not time to redefine and call us established generational indigenous people as Cayman Islanders as the most senior status of belongers? And essentially what you'll be doing is creating different classes of citizenship. This would distinguish us generational people and those status holders who seem to want all of our benefits. Having different classes of citizenship, I don't know. I think you can run into some problems there. Mr. Billy was talking about someone who has status would have the right to become deputy governor, which a lot of people would look at as, well, hold on a second. But the Constitution, according to him, says that that position must be a Caymanian, but as a status holder, then they would be recognized as a Caymanian. Different classes of citizenship, well, you have this right, but you don't. Yet we live here together. You're not on a work permit. It's not the same thing. You have a right to stay here. You can work, do everything else, but certain other things you cannot do. I would think that if a person stays in a place long enough, that eventually they should have the same rights as anyone who's born here or is a generational Caymanian. I don't know, the idea of two two classes of citizens. I always look at as a tricky thing, because either you're a citizen or you're not. Maybe you're a resident, sort of like how it is in the U.S. You get a green card. Here you get a permanent residency. But eventually, you can move in to having full rights of a citizen. Is that the way we should continue to be? That eventually you become a Caymanian even though you say Caymanian by status, or are we going to have different classes of citizenship? We have a caller on the WhatsApp. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, Chalo. Good evening, man. Good evening.
Yes. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, Thankful. Yeah, we just listened to the debate, about the Caymanianization situation that we found ourselves in. Quite honestly, by no means am I trying, and the average Caymanian is not anti in any fashion or form. That's very obvious. We are one of the most, open, embracing, acceptable people in the wide world that we have.
I tell you, lately I've heard some stuff that sounds kind of anti.
But let me go on and further expand on this. There is, let me just make it plain and clear right up front. Let me use some prime examples. You just mentioned the U.S. The U.S. and England is probably, if not among the most liberal countries in the world.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah. I mean, as far as being like a liberal democracy?
Yeah, where practically anything goes. Like the sky seems to be the limit. Liberal. So here we are trying to come. You used to live in the States, right?
Right.
For a while, right?
Yeah, I grew up there from 10 years old.
Okay. Could you become American? American.
Well,
Native American.
now you see, there you go now. Native American. Some people call them Indians. Because
someone who was someone who was born there.
Eventually, I could have become a citizen. Yes.
You could become a citizen, but not American.
Yeah. Well, the citizenship is what gives you the rights.
But it's not seen in the same light, Chalo. Let's be clear on that. Can you go to England? We're under England. That's some of the country. Can you go there and become an Englishman? Stay there 100 years. Could you become an Englishman?
I guess if you picked up the accent, you could pass.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying to you is here, right? I think most of the people that have come here that have got, their Caymanianship, if they had known that, there is a difference in a native-born Caymanian, we be called a Cayman citizen or a status holder or something. I don't think that would make any, grievances that to the point where they would have, disagreed on that basis. But what it was given for, you see, was to give them more belongership, so they will invest more and feel more like us, because Cayman is dependent on human resources and the investment. That's pretty much all it was. It was the politician's idea. They didn't take any type of survey on that, right? You see, because it's all about, on the end result, is to make people feel, included, which, like I'm saying, give them another title. But someone that is born in a country who has a God-given birthright, in any way you go, the person might not be more privileged, than the other person that came and migrated there. But there is a difference in the status of that person, meaning symbolic by birth is who is recognized to be in the country. That is Caymanian, born Caymanian. So what you have to say now, we have to have this discrepancy on it, saying I'm a born Caymanian. If a tourist asks me, you native? Are you here? Are you Caymanian? What I gotta say? Yeah, I'm a born Caymanian. You ask someone else who is not, what I gotta say? Well, no, I'm not born here, but I'm a Caymanian. What's the difference? There got to be a differentiated image and recognition for this. But the politicians, they did it right out. Like I just said, to give the people more belongership and more, ownership and, kind of more including.
To give the expats belongership.
Right. But it's an indictment to the native Caymanian, right down to the bone. It might sound a bit whatever, right? But, I have to speak it like it is because I'm that kind of person.
But if I'm understanding you, you're saying that everyone would have the same rights, but you would have that some kind of there would be some kind of status there that says, I go back 5 generations here. I have something special connected to this rock.
Listen, when someone is born in a country, it's different from someone who comes there, not in the sense of maybe privileges or rights, right? Because, you talk about human rights, inclusion and prosperity or for whatever counts bad or good. But here we are, it got to be a difference between recognition of a native-born person than someone who's migrated here. There got to be something that not say that you have to separate us from our rights or privilege or whatever, but some recognition. How is an indictment to the Caymanian people, to make people feel that, hey, what's the difference? That I'm born here, and yet everybody's a Caymanian. That's used too loosely.
I was told by an expatriate, right, who has been here for, as we would say, donkey years, and he himself has status. But he told me that from talking to other expatriates, that he felt that a lot of them, they just wanted some kind of certainty in their life. They weren't even concerned about voting and that sort of stuff and those kind of rights, right? They just wanted some stability, that they knew that they could stay in Cayman, work, and carry on life for as long as they wanted to.
But that's all you get when you go to another country. You don't get when you go to, again, most liberal, United States and England. That's what you're gonna get. You can stay there 100 years.
Well, I mean, if you were in the States, you had a green card. After a while, you could become a citizen and you could vote.
A citizen. That's the difference again.
Well,
I'm talking about a native-born person, Chalo. That's what I'm saying. But Chalo, it's not the people. And a lot of sensible people recognize it for what it is, But it was the politicians of the day who actually brought that indictment onto the native Caymanian. There's no way of getting out of that.
Well, they made the laws, yeah, for sure.
But this is
they had the power to do it.
Been incorporated. They were still been included. They've still been incorporated into our society. But they made an excuse like, not all should be all equal because we don't want no disparity between, someone who comes here and someone who born here. That'll be the only countries like that, man. Everywhere else normally have people that's born, even in CARICOM. Even in CARICOM, people like that, even the free movement in the CARICOM, people that is Trinidadian born or whatever, that's who they are. They're recognized for that. They're all incorporated. Yeah, we live together.
Using the U.S. as another example, I mean, the only thing that I can think of now, off the top of my head, that differentiates a born American and a naturalized American is that the president must be a naturally born American.
Or certain positions.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a privilege too. That's a right? That someone who wants to run for president. But you can't be a naturalized American and run for president.
Yeah, but in wider circles, in a sense, where it comes, because, United States of America, what's it? United States. Yeah, other men, we are one. They made up of a lot. But I am saying still, for this little 2x4 island we have especially,
Mm-hmm.
My ancestry goes back generations.
So does mine.
Now, you think it's fair to me if someone can come and get the same name as a Caymanian? Yeah, they can get the privileges as a citizen. But the entitlement of that name, right? That name, Caymanian, that is someone who actually born. They could say Cayman citizen. What happened to Cayman status? Why we dump that?
I got to soon wrap you up, but when you say what is it that a natural born Caymanian, as we was a true born Caymanian, what rights or privileges would they have that a Caymanian status holder would not have?
Practically nothing. Just a recognition for who we are. You get into circles talking to people, right? It got to be, you know how some people feel when they ask you, like who you are. You say, well, I'm a born Caymanian. But they just spoke to someone who's a Caymanian too, but isn't born here. What's the difference? I wonder if you see where I'm coming from. Anyway,
I understand where you're coming from. I'm just thinking of it in how it would play out practically.
I know. But it was the politicians, and most times they get a lot wrong just trying to solve a problem. Sometimes they make it worse by just trying. And, no one it's human error. Everything comes from that, right? But I wonder if that was error. It's probably intentional. Again, more ownership. They would invest more. But at our expense.
Listen, I have to stick a pin there because the control room is like, hey, take your break, take your break. Thanks for the call.
You take care.
Good talking to you. We've got to take a break. If you're on the phone, hang on for me. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's Homeowners Insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. 5 minutes to go. We got 2 callers on the line there. Let's see if we can get them in. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello?
Hello. Yes, hello.
Go ahead. Real quick.
Okay, real quick. Just want to make a clarification on what your last caller said.
Mm-hmm.
Good. As far as I can remember myself, my first passport said I was a British subject. Okay?
Okay.
Now, that said then, no, I'm not an Englishman, but I am still a British subject. So I consider myself not a Caymanian, but a British Caymanian because of our status now. I hold a British passport. I'm still Caymanian, but we are different. We are British Caymanians, and we should identify ourselves not as a status holder or Caymanian. We are British Caymanians. So I will leave you with this. I seen a guy with his license plate. You know what it read? UBU and IBI. Have yourself a good afternoon.
Thanks. All right, let's take another call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, Mr. Charles, me again.
Okay.
I love listening to the discussion with what is a Caymanian. You know, you mentioned one word that from one beautiful Caymanian to another, I would like to know, what is the difference between privilege and entitled? Because Caymanians are entitled, you know?
Entitled to certain things?
I think we should be entitled to our land.
In what sense? I mean,
well, okay, you have permanent residents, right? You have people that are granted permanent residence in this island, right?
Yeah.
And they are considered Caymanians. But anything that has been granted to you is a privilege, and privilege is temporary. That's one thing that I know. That means that it can't be taken away. That's the difference between a Caymanian and a paper Caymanian, in my view. Now, we are so entitled that if we do a crime, we stay in here, but we go in jail. In other words, if you're a paper Caymanian, you do a crime, you're going back home. And then God knows if they're going to get a penalty when they go back home. They might just go another country and do the same thing over again.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably have to serve some time here, too, and then be deported.
Well, I guess the court would decide on that, because if you're a privileged person...
Yeah, I think that's how it usually works. You got to do the time, then they deport you.
Yeah, that's if they don't decide to keep them same way, because they have some people that are immune to privileges. But we have to remember as well, the traditional Caymanians, the heritage Caymanians or generational Caymanians, whatever you want to call them, has been growing up with a Christian value. We all believe in God somewhere down the line. And if it wasn't true, we wouldn't be saying, oh my God, this again? You know? Why use the Lord's name in vain? Right? We have people on this island that do not even take God in their consideration, because either they blame God for a lot of the things that they do, or they have done, or anything that has happened to them. They blame God. And here as Caymanians, I don't think that is even a question that we respect God, because a lot of us grew up with the church community, and I know there's a lot of people that feel offended by the church, but that's a moral. You know, we have morals and we have ways of living, and as Caymanians, I would believe that a lot of us respect God and respect each other, our neighbors, but then we have a lot of them that disregard a lot of our morals, and then that's where I think we draw the line between Caymanians. Although we do have some Caymanians that follow suit with the others, like what you say, born Caymanians. We have born Caymanians on this island that have 2 generational parents that are not Caymanian, and they don't take Cayman so serious like how we traditional Caymanians do. So I still don't even look at people that are born on this island as Caymanians unless they have generational Caymanians down the line.
But I've run into some young people that were born here. Their parents are expat, and they say, I'm Caymanian, born and raised here, and they insist on that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's two different ways to skin a cat, and I doing it my way, and you do it your way, like the last caller said. You know? So we, I just would like to leave it as that. Like
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave it because it's 2:30.
Caymanians are entitled to certain things,
All right, good to hear from you, my bro.
Okay.
Take care. It's 2:30. That's it for us. Thanks for joining in. I'm Charles Glidden. Have a good afternoon.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.